Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, you guys, just 1 second if you're coming in. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, we are all set. Hi, Desiree, how are you? Hi, heck no, GMOs, yay. You guys, Amanda's here. Let me add her to the stream. Hi, Valerie. Oh my gosh, hi, Amanda.
Hey, darling.
Are you muted?
No.
Oh no, I had it muted. Just kidding. Sorry.
Did you not want my wisdom? How dare you?
I did. Oh my gosh. So I guess we could wait a few more minutes till people come in. I might have to mute a few times because Breezy Jr. is playing out here with me. So if she needs me. How are you guys doing? Hi, Valerie. Hi, Kat Riley. I watch you before my very early shift in the morning, and I think you are precious. Oh, thank you. You remind me of my daughter. Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Your daughter must be a very nice person. Hi, Tammy. So you guys, Amanda is back. I know some of you guys had questions for her. I don't know how you want to do this, Amanda. Hi, Ferals. You made it. Woohoo! So what's easiest for you? If people ask you questions again, or did you have something?
Well, I think last time we spoke about a bit more about how to cleanse and program crystals.
Yes.
And protection, how to do that in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was G that wanted to know a bit more about sleep paralysis and stuff.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And I know she's definitely going to be here. So we should probably wait a few minutes.
Yeah, so I've got stuff on that for folk, and then obviously questions whenever, folk want to ask, really.
Awesome. Hi, you guys. If anybody's coming in and I'm missing anybody. Baby, do you have all your stuff out of the room? Huh? Okay. You could talk. Baby, you could talk. It's okay. Okay. She's like doing these like yes and no's with her head. I'm like, you could talk. It's okay.
Does she like Pepsi? Just a question.
Brianna.
Yeah.
Do you like Pepsi?
Huh?
Do you like Pepsi? Or do you like Diet Coke?
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yes.
Then my friend Amanda loves you. Hi, Pagan Ways. How are you? Brianna, how could you? Oh,
I was unreasonably happy about that, actually.
Yeah.
But then it is the next generation's job to be better than the last one before it, So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Baby, how could you do that to your mama? Silly girl. Well, how's everybody's weekend going? How's your weekend going, Amanda?
Oh, well, I am mixing being silly with very silly. And other than that, it's good, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I got like a kidney infection during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did not stop exercising, so there we go.
Oh my gosh. So how are you feeling?
On and off, shaky and warm, but feeling better in general.
Good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Hi, Satchels of Gold. How are you? Want to say hi? Nah, you don't have to. You could just wave. Well, I guess for everybody that's here now, do you guys have any questions on crystals, energy? I'll let Amanda take the show on this because I'm going to be learning with you guys. So,
oh, we all do that from each other, I think, don't we?
Yeah,
That's kind of the point.
What's wrong? Okay. Well, I left the house to do errands and realized too late I was still wearing my slippers. I've done that. Oh my gosh. I've done that.
Just since a teenager, I made it a habit to go out in pajamas so that I'd never be embarrassed again.
My sister does that. Spilling tea, but she's like, I don't care. I'm just going like this. I'm comfortable.
I remember when I was doing my first degree, my mates came like roaring back onto uni. Went, we saw you when we first came in. Like you're at the side of the road hugging a girl in your PJs. I was like, yeah, that sounds like me.
Hi, baby. You say hi. You can say hi.
Hi.
Hi. I hear you've got some rose quartz, a nice pink crystal.
Mm-hmm.
I wear rose.
Go ahead.
I wear rose quartz around my neck all the time.
Isn't that cool?
And mine's in the shape of an elephant.
That's her favorite animal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, your
She's
daughter
so
has very
drawn
good
to them.
taste. Well, that is a sign of someone who's going to be protective and a gentle leader.
Maybe. That describes you right now. Huh? Wow, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Say thank you. Hi, BBK. How are you? Let's see, Jen. I was just wanting to ask if it's normal to dream of something and then it happens in real life. Ooh.
Well, I think that depends on who you ask. But from my point of view, then yeah, it's really normal. Sometimes it can be really big things, and some, like a major event, say it's your friend getting engaged or a big fight or whatever it is, or like an event outside of yourself with somebody that you don't know. But often as well, especially while you're learning to tap into energy, it can be really small things, just about a random conversation. But there are ways to grow it if you want to.
Wow, that's really interesting. Jen, did that answer your question? I hope so. Heck no GMO said she's going to go out in her moo-moo. Oh my gosh, we should all go out in our moo-moos.
Oh, my mum used to have one.
That's my I called her my nanny, but my grandma used to wear them all the time. She's like, they're comfortable.
Yeah. That and like, those, I don't know if you call them this in America, but like toe poster sandals, like, the bit with the beat between your toes.
Call them what? Oh, sandals? Uh-huh.
Yeah, like toe poster sandals.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate them. Nope. I can't stand anything between my toes.
Yeah, it feels weird. Either like being barefoot or in like flats or something. But what do you mean no? Are you spilling tea on mommy? Oh, I wear socks too. Yeah, I wear socks a lot, but yeah, she's telling on mommy. I've gone to work with my pants on backwards. They were stretch pants and I didn't realize it until I went to put my hands in my pockets. Oh no. How funny.
My top's on inside out quite a lot. I do that, especially from rushing.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Jen said it happens a lot like death.
Okay, then yeah, that can be quite normal. I have a friend who experiences certain things, signs that work for her. So spirit is all about, it works with the language you have. So for her, it was like knocking 7 times, and then that would mean an oncoming, death. But yeah, that's quite normal. It's normally like a help to prepare the person and yourself for the event.
That's awesome. Any crystals that can remove a water curse? Everywhere I go, I have water issues, mostly plumbing, but I was also a flood victim about 5 years ago and lost everything. I still have water issues now. Wow.
I wonder if you think of water, what does it feel like to you in this sense? What does it feel like? It can be anything. It can be a colour, it can be the way it feels, it can be an emotion. But generally with crystals, you need to find its opposite. So like crystals that work in the red hues or are more fireborn can be a good counterweight sometimes. And a lot of things like labradorite, I can't say it correctly, that is a good one that contains kind of fire.
Jen said, yes, I get more sensitive as I get older. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it would be fear. Okay. I'm wondering, in that fear, is there a lack of light?
You guys, I'll get to you. I'm so sorry. I'm not skipping you guys. I just really want T to get her answer. Let's see. Okay, can you see that? As it always following me and giving me problems and costing a fortune.
I think crystal is a good tool, definitely. You can definitely use that and find like a weight. I think when it comes to picking crystals, you can go to the books, you can look up things like specific crystals that work with fire or warmth or heat. But the other thing for me is, despite what all the books say, it's your own energy. And so if you feel something, or if it's an illness or, an event with water, then work out what that feels like. If it's like, say you're going for headaches, what does that headache feel like, or what is its color? And then just go and touch some crystals if you can, and see what feels the opposite. So if you have something that feels cold, go for a crystal that feels warm. But with that kind of depth of connection, I would say that's more of a karmic bond, which is then more about changing something in your own energy.
Okay, and then BBK asks, is it normal to know what's going to happen in a movie before watching? I've done that since I was a child, and it ruins all movies for me and everyone else.
Yeah, I can do that, but that's just part of me being really observant and just knowing how humans work.
Yeah, that must
However,
really stink then. Like, you must never want to watch a movie because you know how it's going to end.
oh no, still watch it, because you never know, there might be a surprise, or
Oh, that's true.
it's about, like, even if you know the end event, you don't know the path it's going to take to get you there,
Ooh.
not always. And that that's very much life. So even if you everything that was going on in life, and you may think, well, I mean, I know it now, what's the point? But it's like, you don't know what it'll feel like when you live it, or and also you get to share an experience with people or anything. So there's that. But also, that sounds, if you're thinking it's more spirit based, then I don't know if I told you this story last time. When I was at primary school, and I think I was about 5 or 6 and less guarded about what I could do, there was this card game called White Elephant. And if you picked the card, then you got a bottle of free booze. And I did it 20 times in a row and won 20 things.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then, yeah. And then he tried to stop me from taking it, because obviously I was a small kid and it was booze. So my primary teacher came across and said, you let her play, she'll have it, I'll drive her home. And stopped my parents' drinks cabinet for ages, actually.
Oh my gosh.
So that's more of like a predictive gift, and then you can develop that as well if you want to.
That's so interesting. Oh my gosh. Brianna wants me to do the one on. Can you please explain how do you? I just said her name. You guys, her name. Just don't be creepy. I'm sorry, you guys. Can you please explain how do you even know what stone or crystals to buy?
Yes. So there are. We all know that online there's a lot of information, and not all of it is good.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is say if your only resource is the internet, then go on a few sites and look up crystals for this. And if you find a crystal that comes up on a few websites, then you know that's more likely to be that. So it's like, say you had test sites, and only one mentioned rose quartz for, say, a headache. But it mentioned amethyst 20 times, you know? Then it's like, okay, amethyst seems to be a good bet. So that's a way to do it. There is a really good book called Crystals by Jenny Harding. And that you can look up both what it is you want the crystals to work with and also what each crystal means. And that is a book that I do love. So there's ways of that. And then if you go to a shop that has crystals, people are very, very understanding about the need to form that connection. And so just go in and handle them, see what feels right. It's your journey, it's your energy. And even if your brain says one thing, what your body feels to it is a different matter, and trust it, you know? At the end of the day, a crystal, as long as you cleanse it and program it, is not going to harm you.
That's wow. As it is always following me and giving me. Okay, so we read that one. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, within the first 2 minutes, I know, and I always say it out loud, laugh out loud. I don't mean to. Oh my gosh.
Well, who was it that said that she can rock, or he can rock a moo?
Let's see. Like, let me scroll up. Few people said actually.
There's a difference between rocking it and making it look good. So
yes. Lily said, "Thank you for your answer."
Oh, you're welcome. And also, you have the name Amanda in your name, so you know you're already one of us. How many Amandas do we have now? It's like,
oh my gosh,
7, isn't it?
I don't even know. There's so many Amandas. You guys have taken over the world.
Yes.
Taken over the world. Let's see. I wonder. I hope G comes in. I know she had some. Man, I'm gonna text her on Twitter really fast.
Okay. And even if she doesn't, I can give the answers and she can watch it later, you know?
Oh, there you go. That might work, actually.
Yeah. So I guess what would be important to know, let us unite, yeah. Although weirdly, the only people I've ever had a consistent problem with is people who prefer to be called Mandy rather than Amanda.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like a really friendly, can get on with anybody kind of person. But yeah, Mandys are, yeah, they're their own breed. But that just might be my karma, who knows?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Angie said, "Hello, everyone." Hello, Angie. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Hope you're doing well. My name is Actual Different. I don't want to butcher your name. Your name probably sounds so beautiful, and I'm going to say it wrong. So that is her name. But Lily Amanda is a name I came up with for my future baby girl. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It really is.
Only my grandma was allowed to call me Mandy.
Well, there you go. Name of power for you then.
I am good. I'm so happy to hear that, Michelle. Oh, you didn't get a notification?
See, look all the Amandas flood in the minute you mention them. It's like, name them and
I
they
know.
appear.
I just lit a candle in my house in remembrance of today. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, a wrench. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. My name is Amanda and my oldest daughter's name is Lily. Beautiful.
Convergence.
Mm-hmm. So while we have Amanda here, you guys, does anybody have any questions about dreams, crystals? She knows a whole lot of stuff. That's my basic way of saying it. She knows a lot.
Dreams is not my strongest area, but I can act as a guide sometimes. Crystals, spirits, ways to protect yourself or develop your spiritual gifts. You know, that's something I know a little bit more about, and also about just developing your own energy for health and other reasons, and energy work, even without entering the spirit realm, as it were. That's important as well.
Mm-hmm. That's lovely, Michelle. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Michelle, well, do you want to tell Amanda your dream? She said, yeah, Breezy, that dream I had. Oh, G is here. Yay.
Hey, you're right. Sorry, that sounded a bit northern, didn't it? Hey, you're all right.
That I told you about, Michelle. I don't remember your exact dream. I'm really sorry. It's okay, Lila. It's okay. Better late than never, right? What does it mean when we dream about our family members who are deceased?
Oh, it depends on what they're telling you. Are they telling you something? Or are they making you feel something? Sometimes it can just be a way of them, you know, reaching out and letting them know that they're still there and that you're still loved and connected. And sometimes it can be that they're trying to pass on a message to help you.
That's so interesting. You know what's weird? I'm going to be really honest right now. Without saying too much, because I have little ears next to me. You guys know about my past.
Mm-hmm.
Right before my grandpa died, I told him he didn't have to worry because I was going to stay like on the straight and narrow, the right path. And I feel like when I have bad days, or like even if I get a thought, I feel like I dream of him that night, or my grandma. It's really weird.
Yes. Yeah, that so as well as just like general unknown guardians that we have in spirit, the, you know, energy, whatever you want to call it, the words aren't important, it's the intent.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, you also have family members because they are so strongly and closely connected to you. They've been in your physical life.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're an amazing bridge to spirit, to energy, to growth and healing. And they will stand, and you know, who they were in life is exactly who they are now, just more so. They're more full, more, you know, rich.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they wanted you to stay straight and narrow, then oh yeah, they're back to lend you a bit of a hand and a watchful eye, you know.
That actually makes me feel really good. Thank you for answering that for me. I feel like I'm missing people. Let me see. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to scroll up because I feel like I missed questions. Oh, do you believe that loved ones visit us in our dreams?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
the best. It's the best and easiest way for them. And yeah. Sometimes that's where sleep paralysis can come from too, but I can talk about that towards the end. But yeah, it's easier because if you imagine your mind as two regions, the front of your mind is your conscious brain, the brain that's on the lookout, always looking, and it's got the rational and the logical. Whereas your subconscious is freer, you know, creativity and art and sense and energy. And so once you're asleep, the conscious mind, the guard, goes to sleep. And then that's when messages can come through often easier.
Very cool. Let's see. Oh, Michelle remember the dream about the banshee? She was asking because she kept seeing her when she was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Go ahead.
So, Michelle, but you mentioned your sister. So was your sister there or in the banshee kind of dream? Because I remember it was just you mentioned, I think, wasn't it? Or is it just saying, hey, big sister? Hey, you big sister? Maybe.
Let's see. Oh, I'm curious. Before you get married, is it normal to dream about the person you're about to get married to?
Yes. It can be a message from other folk, or it can be your kind of sense of energy in person aligning them to you. you know. If we use energy, even if we just use it in the kind of living physical world, then we can use it to sense and connect to others. So it depends on what's happening in the dream of your spouse.
Okay. This one? This one, maybe? Okay. But I saw her as a little girl. So you don't see her now? Is that
Hang on. Okay, so I was about 5 years old. This is from Michelle a bit further on. Okay, so when I was 5 years old, I either had a dream about a banshee or I saw her when I was a little girl. Yeah, remember that bit. My family was still living in Ireland when I had this experience.
Okay, let's see. Come to me. Oh, typo. Okay, I was like, huh? Oh, hi. How are you, Cowper? If I missed any questions, I'm sorry, you guys. You might. Let's see. G was saying she doesn't fear when items disappear or anything. Things keep disappearing on you.
Oh yeah, yeah, they can do that.
That's what it looks like. I'm reading from her comments up above too. Like I think she said her lighters and pencils or something.
Yeah, they can be little buggers. Normally, it's younger spirits as well that do that. They like to play a little bit of a game, or if it's adults, then it's more hey, we're here. Do you know that we're here, and also pay attention to us. We're trying to tell you something.
Angie had a question, and I'm trying to find it, Angie. It was about crystals. Why do I not see it?
Was this the crystals for anxiety? Because I left that in the comments, I think. Didn't tell on the last live stream.
Oh,
So
maybe.
Yeah.
She said she said she asked for guidance and this video came up.
Oh, okay.
It's really interesting.
Okay, so maybe there will be a message in this from, Breezy or myself or somebody in the comments. If you were led here, then be open to whatever message, but you know your life and your situation, so you filter it. Find what resonates.
Oh, wait, let's see. Lily said, what kind of dream that indicates any supernatural entities are within the close proximity to us?
I'm not really sure of the clarity of that, but if it's in a dream, if you dream of someone specific and they are talking to you, whether you know them or not, then it will generally just be that person. If you dream of negative energies, so things like, people you have their own images and spirits use that. So if you dream of things like banshees or shadows or anything like that, then often that is your own language interpreting it of just like a negative entity. And then you can protect yourself so that you aren't vulnerable to that anymore. I don't know if that helps.
Thank you. G said, little craps. I'm trying to pay attention to them. I can't recall my dreams very much, but it's everything. Last night, it was my headphones, lighter, and my cat's e-collar she took off. I wonder if it's my grandpa or someone else.
Well, then you either need to listen or protect your home, one of the two. But Michelle said again just above, so why would she visit me as a little girl? Do you have a reason? Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, just in the very physical way of living, kids don't have a filter. Quite often, especially the younger you are, you'll say what you see because you don't know yet. You don't know what is expected and what isn't. And that's the same spirit, especially young minds. They're growing, they're developing. There's lots of stuff firing in there. And we haven't got daily life to kind of surround and take up time and energy. And so we're wide open and we see things because we don't know we're not meant to. And because while we are creating our own growth and brain, we're pulling in energy left, right, and center. So we're just more open. Yeah.
Let's see. What is the regional accent with the British lady in it?
So it's Manchester, it's Northern England. But I have lived in Scotland a number of years, and so some people sense that. Some people, as I said last time, here American. I once got accused by a room full of kids that I was Brazilian. But so it's take your pick, really. But I have lived in Northern England, Southern England, and Northern Scotland.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Angie. Okay, so if you're a newly awake light worker, my question to you is, what are you seeking to do with that? And do you protect and ground yourself correctly? Because part of the thing I'm going to talk about is protection and grounding, etc. And developing energy.
That's so cool. So Angie was led here for a reason. That's amazing. Wow. Amanda was told a few years ago she had a woman attached to her that didn't want her to be happy. Sometimes wakes her butt up and was kicked. What? What? Oh my God.
Is that coming? Okay. I was told to.
Oh, can you see it?
Okay. Okay, so then one, do you trust the source who told you? Because sometimes people are not what they seem. Especially if there's monetary gain attached to it. She said tactfully, I feel. But also, if you do, then that is, again, that we come to shortly. I'll talk about crystals first if you want, or protection, whichever works for you guys. But if you have something attached to you, then the best thing you could do is claim yourself, your energy, and do your protection. And cut karmic and energetic strings attached to you. So we can definitely talk about that.
That'd be very interesting. Yeah. Do you guys have a preference on what we talk about first? I say what Amanda talks about first, because I know nothing, so I'm learning too. Let's see. Oh, I'm not a jungle gym. Okay, let's see. 100% agree. Don't trust people who tell you negative things right away. It'll allow you to accept the bad energy. Amanda said, I didn't even know the person. Wow.
No, I mean, that can be quite natural. I mean, when I was more open and a bit more daft with my energy, I picked up energies from just old buildings I was in. I picked up my friend's former husband, who had, let's say, died in pain with alcohol. And he stuck with me for a couple of years, but he ended up actually helping me quite a lot. It was nice.
Wow.
But that was because I wasn't told ahead of time what was happening. My partner at the time just went, "Oh, we're going to look at a house." I was like, "Okay." Next thing you know, I'm in someone's house doing a reading. I was like, "What?" So, I didn't really have time to prepare.
Hold on 1 second, you guys. I got to mute for a second.
Okay.
Are you going to be okay with? All right. Hold on 1 second.
So I will speak to that Amanda Phillips, where he said, just a woman that walked up to me in the store and said I wasn't meant to lose the 2 babies I had lost. I was trying to check out. Okay, so that could just be someone. It's a really hard thing to call, whether you pass on a message that you receive if you're gifted, and you have to use your best judgment. But sometimes that can just be a message that is meant for you through a different means. I sense really that if a spirit is meant for you, it will come back to you. But if we do experience things like loss, then that spirit came to you And even though you weren't able to bring that spirit into being, there was a reason, and it will all those little boys or girls will always be yours in some way.
That was really beautiful. My gosh.
I've spotted one from G. I want to cleanse my house. What sort of herbs should be burnt or even boiled? Well, one, it depends. Are you working with herbs because you want to and that's what you're called to, or because you think that's what you should use?
Okay. Sabrina says, "Oh, I have been attacked by a male entity who owned my house before I did. I would get jumped because I felt inhumane anger and felt disoriented after.
Yeah.
I've left with my dog suffered from a stroke."
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I've spoken before, like in houses you can pick up some amazing spirits. I spoke about a chap that when I was in a hospital bed in a lot of pain would come up and keep me company and whistle because he'd been in the house in a hospital bed. And I've spoken about some not so good entities, and my friends have had similar. And so I think from the way the chat is moving, that maybe it would be a good idea to do the energy protection first. What do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Angie said, long story short, she had a heart attack and nearly died.
Okay. Jesus, I wrote a massive essay and it's too long. A bit more info though might be helpful. But if it's about protection, then yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'll just start with energy and protection, and
Okay.
you can definitely pick up what you need. And yes, can I just say I agree with Sabrina, Sabrina S, the one above the comment.
Am I in the wrong comment?
Yeah, it says burn Palo Santo, because stage can't open you to the negative. Well, can open. Well, depends how you use it, I think. But I think also combining lavender in there if it's a spirit specifically that you want to cleanse yourself of. Some people mix salt into the herbs as well, but it depends on whether you are called to the herbs. Some people use sound or energy or laughter, or it's how you claim your space. So you need to work out the tool for you first.
There you go. Okay. Amanda, I'm gonna go ahead and let you start. I'll be on mute. And then obviously like I'll chime in to read comments and stuff. But whenever you're ready, whenever you feel ready.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, if you are going to do any work with energy in this physical world or work with spirit, then protection is one of the most important things that you can have. And once you've developed that technique of protecting yourself, you can then expand it to others, to your house, to whatever it is that needs protection. Obviously, when it comes to others, there needs to be a degree of consent, and so it tends to include a message of, I send this energy, but only if it wants to be received, if it has a home with that person. Because part of the way that we change karma, and things that are affecting us in this life is attitude, gratitude, karma, and grace. And so we can't just go around forcing our energy on folk, as much as we may feel they need it sometimes. But to do work with energy or spirit, first of all, it's really, really important that you have control of yourself. So the 3 questions that are really important to ask yourself is, how much are you in your body? How well grounded are you? And do you breathe in a calm and rhythmic way, or are you able to when you need to? So first of all, I guess to understand that's important, I would say imagine a situation where you really need to focus, or you feel threatened in some way. Now, imagine doing that if you were breathing too fast, maybe hyperventilating, if your brain was darting all about, or if, you left part of your body empty. That's when it can feel a little scary. But imagine that same situation where you are stood with your feet on the earth with the entire energy of this planet working through you that you can call on, with your breath deep and calm, and you are looking head on. That's when you start to make real change. And so it's important to claim your own body, and you can do that as well. The other reason why it's important is if you enter into things like sleep paralysis, or you feel attacked by a negative situation, environment, or person, then if you have full claim over your body and know how to do that, it's easier to take it back if someone's trying to take it from you. Imagine it almost as like energetic spiritual defense, energetic karate. Oh yeah, sorry, I just saw that comment. I work with horses. I used to be called in to deal with problem horses, according to folk. Never were.
Is it distracting if I put the comments up here?
No. I just see it. I've got notes, so I'm.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I'm not throwing you off or anything.
No, it's just okay.
Perfect.
I think sometimes if you, I'll just keep an eye on it, because sometimes somebody might be responding directly to it. But if you see it,
okay,
let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Excellent. So the first thing to do, first of all, is, again, I am a bit biased towards earth energy because my entire nature is nature. That's where me and my nana had our connection, and I became a research scientist to protect from pollution in the environment, and that's important to me. But if you work with energy or spirit, then you need a counterweight. You need something to balance that. And earth is a very solid, perfect counterweight to that. So you don't need to have my connection, but to be able to feel the earth is important. And so we can do this in very, very physical ways. We can walk with our feet in the soil. But if, say, you're in a flat or an apartment block, I think you call it in America, then
Apartment.
Thank you.
Welcome.
But there's still ways to do it if you're unable to get out in the environment. For a long time, I was housebound for nearly 10 years. So I was lucky for part of that time I had a garden, but the rest of the time I was in a hospital bed. And so even if you're on, like, I don't know, the 20th floor, then use whatever visualization works for you. For me, it's almost like I am a tree, because I'm connected to trees. That's what I work with. And imagine, like, the roots of energy going down into the earth and embedding themselves. Feel the energy that lies there and pull it up your body. Feed it up into your body and up through the top of your head. And I use it in a different way. So I am a Reiki healer as well, but it's just something I do for the folk around me if they need it, and for my quote unquote niece, because it's a friend's daughter. As well as taking energy in, I pull it up from the earth and mix the two. And people are aware I do this, obviously, rather than just pure Reiki. So connect to the earth in whatever way feels right for you, but it can be really helpful to have visualizations. Imagine you're a plant putting down roots, and if you have a lot of really negative emotions or feelings, then sometimes it's really good to imagine that being pushed down into the lava of the earth and then just burning away, so it's causing no harm. Oh, in Scotland. Cool. North, middle, or south? Central or south? So that's the way to connect to the earth, and just focus on how solid it is, how real. Being in your body, there's different ways of doing that. A couple of minutes when you wake up, just before you start thinking about your day and everything you have to do, just become aware of your fingers and your arms and all the rest of it. And just kind of greet it. This is mine. These are my fingers and my arms. It's like a claiming, and it becomes a reflex. The more you do it, the more you're able to do it, and the quicker, which is important if you then feel that part of the control of your body is being taken away. You can also connect in physical ways, like massage, either to yourself or receiving, bath, regular exercise, yoga with some folk. I've got friends that just dance and just feel mid-loathing, feel their bodies. I connect to my body in a different way, but it's maybe not for this stream. But yeah, just do anything positive that makes you aware of your body, that makes it a happy place to be. Yeah, Amanda G, when I am in the environment, it's the most beautiful picture of interconnected light, roots, and it's a mixture of science and seeing. So that's the way to kind of claim your body, because your body is your vessel. It contains your love, your light, and your power. Claim it so nobody else does. That's nobody's to take. It's your energy. So, and then the way for rhythmic breathing is just the very simple one is 7 seconds in, and you can hold or not, and then 7 seconds out, just even and calm, like a tide coming in and out, a gentle tide, my and if that doesn't work for you, you need something to distract your brain. And a good way to start letting your mind wander as well when you're protected is light a candle if you can. And depending on your concentration, you can start at 30 seconds or 5 minutes. I wouldn't recommend going any higher than 5 minutes. And just for the first 5 minutes or first 30 seconds, focus on the flame. Fix it in your mind. Just be aware of that flame. And then for the subsequent 5 minutes or 30 seconds, whatever you go with, close your eyes and still see that image in front of you. And so that's how you can connect and work your breathing into that space as well. So those are the first 3 things. Once you have claimed your body, know how to earth yourself, and just be grateful as well of this earth, of all the things that happen that we don't see, for these plants to grow and soil to be healthy and all of that. Just be thankful for it and know that power is yours to tap into anytime you want. So when it comes to actual protection that you are doing purposeful protection, then can I just add, if you do go out into nature, because I just saw what G said, don't just do with any bit. I mean, in a very physical sense, it's been proven that being outside is good. If you walk barefoot on the grass, the magnetic pull of the earth can have a very physical, scientifically proven effects on your body. But if you've just got one bit of grass, then use it. But if you have the opportunity where often I'll just be driving like, I need to stop. I'm called to this place. Or I'll walk to somewhere where I think looks beautiful on Google Maps, and I get there and I'm like, not feeling it really, but look at that bit of verge over there near the road. I'll go there. Trust yourself, because it's your energy, your level of vibration. So use it. Don't let anybody tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your energy and how you should restore it and heal it. So yeah, like there's just some land that will resonate more with you than others. So when it comes to protection.
Oh, wait, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, of course you
can. My daughter and I feel like for both of us, our energy, just everything about us changes whenever we're by the water. We're such water people.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know, like, why is that? I mean, we would be mermaids literally if we could, especially her. So, but yeah, I feel like our personalities, we're so different when we're by water. It's so interesting.
So when I go to my spiritual setting to meet folk or to do my protections, which is something I can tell you more about if you want to hear it, it's nature-based, and there's a stream there, and it's always, for me, what works for me is a slow, deep, gentle river or stream.
Mm-hmm.
So, but water in and of itself is a beautiful evener, and it's used in a lot of ways. So like if somebody has like anger issues or a lot of pain, then it's like you can bind it. You can take a pebble and imagine all of that anger or pain or whatever it is and push it in there and then give it to the water. Because whatever happens, there is nothing stronger than water. It will take time. The persistence and patience of water will wear away whatever stands in its path.
Wow.
And so it is a source of strength, and people benefit from that kind of, it can have all of these escalations from crashing tides to gentle ripples. And so you can call on that kind of contained energy, but what it has is staying power. It remains unchanged by what's in its path.
Wow.
So,
thank you for that.
that's okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I won't bother you anymore.
Oh no, please do.
You were on a roll, and then I just had a question, so I'm sorry. But going back on mute, you guys.
It gives me a chance to have a bit of Pepsi, so you know.
Okay. Did you hear that? She's drinking Pepsi. You guys have like something against me, huh? All right, you guys. Oh, Angie asked, moving water is better, are you saying?
So a pond that is fed and naturally filtered can be just as effective. Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't really do any water work with stagnant water. Any water that is trapped, or kind of creating that kind of toxicity. No, but a pond, if you've got a pond in front of you and you're called to it, it is not a bad thing. Or a lake. Moving water has more, I guess, contained energy. Depends what work you want to do. So for me, the way I cleanse crystals is water. For all the reasons I just said to Breezy, but because that energy, when I'm cleansing something, it washes it away. So it doesn't stay near the thing I'm cleansing. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Amanda G said, I had a near drowning experience when I was 12. Afraid of water since, but moved to a small town on Lake Huron, is that how you say it, in 2003? And ever since, I've drowned so much peace from the water, soothing to my soul.
Well, that's beautiful, and that's some karma you've changed there then. You've taken something that was fear and turned it to healing. I know that two artist friends of mine did a project on a river through one of the towns in Scotland, and they collected everybody's stories that happened around that river. And it was just really beautiful to hear the connection and how that changed over time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hespera said dance can be so healing.
Oh yeah. Like dance can be, it's that movement, it's that physicality of being in your body, you know. And it can be a really good way to move energy out of yourself. But if you're doing it to move negativity out, make sure it has a home first. Don't just chuck it out into the environment. You know, give it a home that can transform it.
Let's see. Okay. Do you guys, let's go back to, I want to go back to the protection and everything. If anybody else, do you guys have any more questions about water, anything, grounding? Okay. Well,
Yeah. Well, if they ask, you let me know. Okay.
I will, of course.
Brilliant. So yeah, when it comes to purposeful protection, I think I'd call it. There is an element to staying healthy, physically healthy. But that doesn't mean that if you're not, it's a problem. It's just, for me, I have a lot of injury around my spine and a lot of experiences that happened because of that injury. And so that doesn't mean I'm unable to do energy work, quite the opposite, actually. But it does mean that I need to be aware of the area of my body, of the emotions it can contain if I let it stagnate. And that is like a breach in my energy. And so it's just about putting extra protection there. And then in the energetic world for protection, ground yourself first in everything. Do not start dealing with spirit or doing something with energy that is directed at somebody else or is about changing something in your life unless you are able to breathe calmly in that moment, ground yourself, and know that your body is your own. But yeah.
Sorry. Angie asked what kind of home, when you were saying make sure that energy has a home.
Okay, so for me, I do it into the lava. Okay, like as I said, I draw up from the earth, that grounding. If I'm especially if I'm dealing with a particularly troublesome energy or spirit, then anything I have left over, any kind of like worry or fear or negativity, like I don't want that living in my body. That'll stagnate and can cause illness or just unhappiness in myself. And so why should I keep hold of it? I mean, we have this beautiful resource underneath our feet. If we go through the soil and the rock, we have these rivers of lava and the temperatures they have. And so I push it down into that. I let it flow and I see it as I do it, just burning up and vaporizing into that. Again, it's finding the strength, what works for you. And you'll do this through practice. You can do something very physical, as I said, which is bind it in a stone and give it to a water that feels like it can handle it. Or there is a way to take that energy, and normally if it's anger or fear or anything like that, it feels like a darker, like a lower vibration. And what we can do is, rather than just leaving it hanging around in that state, it's about turning that energy and making it higher and higher and higher, and then pushing it back out into the universe in this heightened state where it can then find its own good. So yeah.
So you have a lot of questions. Let's see. Okay, so G asked, what are the best crystals to charge for protection and for clarity? But before you answer that, I see a bunch of comments relating to the spine issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell people definitely want to listen to that. So that's really important. Me too, because I've had multiple back surgeries. So I want to hear how you deal with everything. So I just want to make sure we touch on those two things, the crystals to charge for protection and for clarity, and then back to your spine, baby.
Everybody's spine. But then it also relates to, you know, this kind of incidence. Was it Angie that said about heart attacks? Or I think it was Angie, I'm not sure. So it's about being aware. And so very quickly, if you have a physical injury and if you want to do energy work for healing in your body, it's about understanding if it's not just a physical injury, but if you have very real emotions or trauma living there too. So for me, it was a loss of my strength, a loss of myself and my, just my sense of self, my ability to change things for myself. You know, I lost myself for a little while. And so I do know that if I'm not careful, those feelings can build up. And I don't want that. There's no way I'm giving that a place in my body anymore. So we move it through. So there is different ways of doing this. So first of all, the most effective one for a lot of people is bubbles of protection. So have a seat somewhere comfy. Don't put yourself in positions of endurance unless that particularly works for you. But, you know, that would be very specific. Earth yourself, breathe and connect to your body. Everything starts there. And then that's, as we were saying last stream, which is surround yourself with this kind of transparent bubble. Make sure it goes overhead and under your feet and every part around. Do not leave a gap. You're in this perfect bubble. Be aware that your own energy and vibrations and intentions for folk can leave. They can go out through this bubble. And it will allow good energy in, but not negativity. Visualize it. And with this bubble theory, then you can refine it however you want. Make it yours. This is your journey. It is your energy. It is your right to protect in whatever way works for you. You can use like a crystal around it. At a very particularly hard time for me, I used a crystal. But mostly for me, it's light. My bubble is made entirely of light drawn down and light drawn up from the earth. You can do whatever you want works for you. You can write on it, keep away, keep out, or use trees. I use trees. I put my bubble inside a tree if I'm doing particularly strong energy work. Some people do use symbols. If you are very, very attached to a symbol, like, say, I don't know, a cross. It seems quite an obvious choice. Be careful. Make sure that that symbol is entirely yours and that you know what it means to you. You know, don't just be picking a symbol from the internet because a website says it's good. It's your journey, it's your energy. Make it something you know with certainty is connected to you. So yeah, that's how you can guide it. But don't be scared about trying different imagery or writing or painting or light, colours. Colours work for a lot of people. Sound, you can surround yourself with sound over this bubble. This is your journey. Listen to yourself. A lot of people say, how do I find this out? Who's going to teach me? I do it. I still do it now. Who's going to teach me? And I've met very few people of spirit that find a permanent teacher. We tend to find people who guide us along the way, who have the answers for that time period. But it's important to seek knowledge within yourself. Don't be scared of your own wisdom. And any entity outside of yourself or any relative is going to use your language. So pick things of power for you. Pick colours that matter to you. Pick crystals. Pick trees. Whatever. So that's how you can refine your bubble of protection. I'd always say start there. You can also create a shield. which is somewhat different. Instead of it being a bubble around you, you can make it a disc, and you can have it guarding your back if you have injury there, or another part of your body, or your mind if you struggle from mental illness. Very few people use the shield as a bubble, but it's your journey if you want to do that. The important thing with a shield is it reflects negative energy back to its source. So it can be a mirrored shield, and that's particularly effective for that mirroring. It can be used in a vulnerable situation between you and somebody else if you feel they've got a really dark or heavy mood, between you and an entity. And then you can again personalize that shield with colour, writing, whatever. There is a way to do it with flame. I actually have met very few people who do this, but there are some that are called to fire. I guess I'm called to fire as a fire keeper, but not really. I don't use fire a huge amount except to change. Well, actually, that's not true. I do fire ceremonies in a very casual way. Mostly, I will get friends that need to feed something, that don't need to keep anything in their bodies anymore, and we'll make a fire and we'll feed that stuff into the fire in different ways. But anyway, when it comes to protection, this is more of like a dynamic, active method. So if you're in a more assertive mood, it can be quite good. So imagine that this energy, this flame, is coming from deep in the earth, and your body is its wick and its candle, and you create the flame around you and you burn bright. Make that flame bright. So if you're drawn to that imagery, take it, use it, experiment. There is the ways that again, just use for your own means. There's the cloak, which is more of a situation thing. You can draw it around you. A lot of people use that and work the colours with it. I find this a good one, although it's not exactly the imagery I would use. I use a shutter imagery, but it's like closing down like a fire, like a flower, sorry. I imagine it because, I'm quite northern, and so I imagine it as just like a big metal shutter of like where my energy is, if it's open and to be used and shared. When I want to bring that to a close, I shut it down. And for me, I put like a shutter over the front like shops have. But people do use fire imagery, which is if you've been with a group of people or been in a state where you are healing or sharing positive energy with people, and you're going to a more negative environment or out into the world where you would be vulnerable to that energy becoming, let's use the word contaminated in this sense, then close it down. Just do that very active closing. If the energy is coming from a person, or if you live with a partner and they're in a particularly bad mood, and you just need a bit of breathing space from it, but you've got nowhere to go, then you can use like the lead curtain imagery. The lead curtain imagery comes from the fact that lead is an absorber, even against radiation. Just soaks it in, that's it. And it protects the people stood behind it. And so you can bring that curtain down between you and somebody else, floor to ceiling, and imagine it as just that energy bouncing into it and not making its way to you. I would say with that though, is especially if it's a partner or a friend or a loved one in any sense, remember to lift it for that connection. Another way is animals and plants. So that's where I'm particularly drawn to trees for me. People use different animals for it. You still there, Breezy?
I'm here. I am
Okay.
interested in everything.
All right.
Even my little one's listening, like she's playing, but like we're just like, oh my gosh. But I find it interesting, you know, how you said you're drawn to certain things. Like for me, I think I've said this before, like sunflowers, like they just make me so happy. I'm so drawn to just, I think flowers in general, but especially those.
Yeah, well then, I mean, as I said, sunflowers in particular are just amazing, and they have this ability to protect whatever they're living in.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can definitely use that imagery, however it resonates, whatever sunflowers mean to you, use it. For me, so some people do use animals, so I didn't know it was mine, but elephants, some kind of symbol of elephants has always been in my life.
And I think that's why my little one is loving listening to this, because how you brought it up before, for her too, just somehow there's always been like elephants around. Like, I don't know what it is.
It's so like a good thing is to find out what the elephant means. And like I said, it is that kind of gentle leader and strength, and you know, but if you're doing protection or something, some people use animals as an in the moment or a permanent thing to like work through situations for protection. And so I use trees. Like I've said, if I'm in a place where my energy is being drained or I just need to shut down for a while, then I step literally into a tree.
Yeah.
Or if I need help drawing up more energy into my body for healing or work, then I'll step into a tree and use not only my own kind of energetic roots, but the tree's actual living roots to kind of pull that energy up, and the leaves to bring that light down. So yeah, and then also ask for help. This is easier for those that kind of have a sense of something greater than ourselves. You can call it whatever you want, and it can mean whatever you want to you. It can be just this beautiful, massive white light out there ready to be used. It can be God, it can be a goddess, it can be the source. I call it loosely the universe, but it's very loose terminology for me. And call it to a situation to help. So that's the way that you can create these energetic practices to help yourself if you are feeling attacked or you're starting your adventure in light work. Protect yourself. Always make sure you are restored. Yeah.
I find that so interesting when you said it could be God, it could be anything, because that relates to me and like my recovery. I had a lot of well, I'm relating it to me in my recovery. You know, they always say to find a higher power. It could be like your doorknob, it could be anything. The higher power of your understanding. So I thought that was awesome that you said that. It doesn't necessarily have to be God. It could be, you know.
It can. I mean, the thing is like I said, this is your journey, and you know, whatever totems, whatever talismans, whatever symbols or colors work for you, they work for you. And that might change as you grow, the way that anything in our lives changes as we grow. But use in that moment what is powerful to you. You know, it's the best way to embody it. Now, if you want to think about protection against an actual negative just person in your life or spirit, there are ways to kind of do that. There's this kind of sense of, I think they call it the electric loving of your enemy. It was originally like a Buddhist concept, but that has actually now been scientifically tested and works, weirdly. Well, not weirdly, I trust it. So, you know, people might not, but there's now a scientific study to back it up. And it's this act of love to your quote-unquote enemy. And that is particularly effective if you are under attack. So sense the energy in front of you. If it's like a friend that's not the most supportive and is draining you in some way or being rude, or if it is a spirit, then sense it, and without hesitation send like a laser beam, a direct beam of energy of love and positivity and goodwill. Because if you try and fight anger with anger, you just get more anger. It's again about finding your counterweight. Negativity is sent towards you, balance it with positivity. That's it. Reflect. And there's a sense that I think they tested it with like a Buddhist master, because they were deemed best at meditation, and it was shown through imagery. I think it was maybe MRIs they used. Yeah, MRIs, I think it was. And as energy was sent to somebody like rooms away, literally like a nanosecond later, the MRI picked up this energy, finding its home in that person. So
Wow.
yes.
I had to chime in and say, wow.
Thank you. That's very helpful. It wasn't long enough for a Pepsi break, but thank you.
Well, here's a Pepsi. Do you guys want to, do you guys have any questions so far? Anything you want to ask now? Here's your Pepsi break, Amanda.
Thank you.
It should be a Coke, but it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, it's now 2 against 1, so you know.
Oh my gosh. What is that? Oh, sorry. Okay.
I guess another way of pulling on energy is some people, especially, but not always, women or Wiccans and pagans, they use the more female energy. And so you can call on the goddess. Now, what I would say to that is understand first what you're calling on and which goddess. You can just call on the goddess in terms of the female energy, which is a good way. So we hear a lot about toxic masculinity. There is such a thing as toxic femininity as well, both in behavior and energy. And the reverse of that is important to remember that there is such a thing as positive masculinity and positive femininity. And so if you call on the goddess, and it's just a general female sense, the sacred feminine, then that has certain characteristics to it. If it's a goddess in particular, I know a friend of mine recently actually called on Hecate, who isn't someone that she works with normally. I don't tend to work with many goddesses. I do work with the triple moon goddess, but that was because that's just been a symbol that's been drawn to me, the goddess with a spiral in the center. But it's not something I've ever really kind of done consciously as such. So you can do that. And remember that, as I said earlier, when you're working with energy, whether you choose to use it with spirit or people or healing, or just yourself, so that you don't, or to release your own trauma. I've helped friends release their trauma in the ways that I do. And again, that's lived in a certain part of the body. But part of this life's work is reintegrating yourself. I've always said that in spirit we are more ourselves. We are more fully ourselves. And this has a lot of different names. Some people call it their core personality. And so what we do is we come to each lifetime with a life personality and a core personality. And our job is that we need to integrate our lessons and our behaviors. We've come to learn something specific in this life, to release something, to develop. And so we take that, and sometimes when we try and integrate the two things, the core and the life's personality, there can be some resistance. I don't know if you know much about the ocean, but there are two currents in the ocean, which creates two temperatures. And so those two currents don't mix, but where they meet is friction. And so where that friction is where our suffering or pain lies in this lifetime. And so you need to kind of understand where that is. For me, it was selflessly caring too much. I had to learn to integrate those boundaries and understand that there was no harm in making sure I was okay too, and especially doing it before I helped other people. And so once you understand where that suffering or pain or lessons, whatever word you want to use, is, then you change that behavior. And what we put out into this world is very, very much what we carry with us. And so
I totally agree with that.
yeah, and often if we find something about someone angering, or we judge them very much on that, it's really good to say, what is it that bugs me so much? Why is this affecting me like this? And quite often it's something that we don't like in ourselves or that we're scared of. And so then you can't change that person, but you can change where that home is in you and release it. And so by doing this, by releasing our pains and our suffering, then we're actually changing our karma. And I know that somebody before said about spirit being attached to them. This is where all of the things I spoke about, the different ways to protect your energy, comes in place. Once you have claim of your body, claim of your breathing, and a good ground into this planet, this earth, which is so beautiful. And then you start doing that spirit energy protection on top. Then a really good way of doing that is feeling. If you feel like, it can be whatever image you want. It can be like strings attached to you. I see it as like beams of light that connect me to other people. So if I'm doing energy work with other folk, I'm very much connected through tunnels of light to them, and that's how I see it. And in a negative sense, you can imagine this person like tied to you, almost like a balloon, and do very clear, after doing all the breathing, the grounding, and the protection. Some people imagine angels, and they call them specific angels to remove these strings off their body. I just see a very clean slicing motion, just detach, let them float away. And then it may be a good idea to, wherever you felt it attached, if you did feel a place, put that shield over there. You know, it's a bit like forming a kind of energetic scab, if you want, over a wound while it heals. Yeah, so that's how I would use protection. I guess that's enough on energy protection, I think.
Thank you for that. That was really interesting. I know I learned a lot. I did. G said, beautiful, Amanda. I will definitely try this.
Good. I'm glad. There's some stuff about crystals, which isn't as long, or there's stuff about sleep paralysis if you want more, or it can wait.
I probably have another half hour I can be on here. So whatever you guys want to do.
I can be on here.
Because I have these eyes looking at me like, The boss over here is giving me the eyes.
Absolutely.
My toddler's the boss and Chachi's the manager. Huh.
But you know, there's a lot of power in the worker bee, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that works for me because I'm going up to see somebody tomorrow. It's a couple of hours drive, so like half an hour, a bit more is good for me too.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, that works out great. Is that okay with you, boss? Yeah. Okay.
Does your daughter have any questions about crystals or colors or anything?
Baby, do you have any questions? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? I know it, but I want you to say it.
Lime green.
Uh-huh.
Light blue.
Are you drawn to it? They're just colors you like? Lime green, light blue,
And light purple.
and light purple like a violet.
Ooh, purple's a very good one. They're all good colours, absolutely. They're beautiful. And I like the way that it's very specific about the colour green.
She's very specific with things.
Gentle leader, knows what she likes.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
really is. You know, she has dreams though, or she like things that she loves. Like she loves reptiles and snakes and stuff like that. But sometimes she'll have like scary dreams about them. It's so weird.
I like snakes, but when I go home and I'm with them, I have like.
Oh, you like them?
dreams.
Oh, she said she likes them. Come here. You can. Here, it's okay. Use your voice. Go ahead.
I like snakes, but when I'm not when I leave, I have bad dreams.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, and there's things that we can do about that. So first of all, I will tell you your colours, what they mean if you want.
Do you want
I can tell I'm speaking to the boss now.
If no, boss,
the
you can have the computer.
The colour green is very much about your heart. That's where the colour green lives, and that's very good for like helping friends and helping your mum, or is it your mom in America? And it just means that you have a lot of love, which is a really, really beautiful thing. And that kind of bright green means it's a lot of love you can share with people that will do lots of good. And purple is very much of the mind and all this higher energy and wisdom that you can call on too. So they're really good colours.
She was just student of the month, so she does have a strong mind. Oh.
And snakes and reptiles can mean a lot of things. But often it's about something, how should I put this? It's something that we might not know the words of. There's something more primal. It's a bit more like, the fear of the dark kind of thing. It's that kind of primal inbuilt thing. And so as you get older, you might understand where those bad dreams are coming from, but just know that snakes and things like that, they have a lot of really good wisdom, and you can tell them to work for you and not scare you. Does that make
sense?
You can say.
You can talk.
You can give the snake a job, or if the snake makes you feel a different, a certain way, scared of something, then just say no, thank you, I don't want it, and send it back to the snake. And you can surround yourself in a pretty colour or lots of white, and that will really help you. But it just means that you have a lot of wisdom in your body that's coming to you as you get older.
Wow.
So I think you're going to grow up and be very, very special. I really do. Very clever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's so funny right now. She's looking at the comments and she's smiling ear to ear. She's just loving this. You know what I notice whenever her and I are outside, like she'll talk to the plants and she calls them our plant babies.
Oh.
And we always see dragonflies and hummingbirds. That's something like we always see when we're out.
Yeah, hummingbirds are very, very, they can be seen as messengers because of the amount of amount of energy in their very, very small bodies. So that's often like definitely higher energy work there as well, if that's something special to you. But yeah, I remember when I fell in love with nature, I was out with my nana on a walk with the dog, and we were in this place. It had lots of plants, but I noticed there was lots of concrete on the floor. And it had been an old camp for the soldiers from World War I. World War II, sorry. And then I remember being amazed that through this concrete, a little plant was pushing up. And my nana saw me staring at it, and she used to take me for walks and show me nature and the caterpillars and touch the plants. And
That's so sweet.
yeah, and she climbed a tree when she was 70 to show me an abandoned bird nest. My nan was pretty special.
Wow.
And she said to me that day, nature will reclaim its own. And somehow I just knew how powerful nature was. That this man-made building had gone, but nature was coming back and growing through it.
So powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Right, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you have any other questions? She's just smiling away.
Good.
Why do you think you were attracted to the rose quartz so much?
Well, actually, that's the same place as green lives. It lives in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it is about love and friendships and relationships, and yeah.
That's so cool. So I'm still here. Brianna's just
Yeah.
You know what? That's her
Baby
name.
G.
I said it.
There you go.
I
It
keep
is her
trying.
name.
Just please call her Breezy Jr.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to call her Pepsi Lover too, but
yeah, go ahead. She's clicking on things. I don't know if while Amanda takes a Pepsi break, if you guys want to say hi or ask her something that's not too personal, and I'll let her answer. But Brianna, did you see something in the comments? I noticed you. What'd you see in the comments? What'd you see in the comments? Oh, look at this. Amanda, your Nana sounds awesome.
She was an amazing lady, and I was very, very lucky to have her because I didn't have the best parents, but my Nana was amazing. And if it hadn't been for her, I don't think I'd be the person I am today. And I definitely wouldn't have connected to nature as much. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You can answer that.
My favorite color is...
You just said the
lime green.
And
violet and a light blue.
Yep, that's what you said.
Ooh. And light blue, again, is about wisdom. So, yeah, you've got a good mix there. Baby Breezy.
Baby Breezy.
But I remember when I was little, they told me I had to have a favourite colour. And I didn't want one. I didn't want to choose just one because I like so many. Anyway, we had to colour in this box in our favourite colour. So I went for the colour that the woodwork on the outside of the house was painted in, which was weirdly orange. I don't know why. But over time, orange and purple have become my favourite colours.
Those are nice colors. I love purple too. What's wrong, baby?
So does my Nana.
Oh, so does her Nana. Her Nana loves purple too.
Oh, that's amazing. I guess we could quickly talk about crystals.
Sure. Yeah.
Or does G want to talk about sleep paralysis? Or anybody else? What does everybody want?
Yeah.
Crystals or that kind of thing.
Oh, Breezer Jr., which country in Asia would you love to come and visit?
Oh.
It's okay if you say you don't know. You can say that.
No.
Why don't you ask what would be a good place we could go and visit, huh?
What would be a good place we could visit?
So Tyler says, hi, everyone.
Hey.
But yeah, if anybody has questions, I'm so sorry, Amanda. Go ahead.
That's
I was going to say, if anybody has questions for you, feel free to ask away because you still said you have about 30 minutes left too, right?
Yeah, I do. Okay. So we can talk about crystals if you want, or general questions or sleep paralysis.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
But I used to be a Buddhist leader. Anyway, I was. And I was very, very lucky to meet a lot of people from different parts of Asia, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. It's amazing, and I know that my aunt, who I only met once, really, really loved Thailand. I don't know where I'd go. I'd go everywhere. I'm a wanderer.
I would love to travel different places. I know she would too. I'm just scared of airplanes. She likes to fly though.
Mommy, why are you scared of airplanes?
Because I'm scared. I don't know. I don't like it's scary for me. No, I'm not going to tell you why I'm afraid, because you're not afraid. So let's keep it that way. We have a good thing going here.
Oh, I had some really good friends that lived in Malaysia originally, and they came over here to study, and they joined my Buddhist kind of division, as it were. So, okay. I feel like I had a thought before I was going to sleep paralysis.
Yeah. Heck no, said I used to have sleep. I used to have sleep paralysis all the time. It's awful. I don't know if I've ever had sleep paralysis, but I get these bad dreams that like I can't wake up from. I don't know if that's the same thing, but it's scary. Let's see. I want to see the ocean. I live in the Midwest. I really want to go to Colorado's mountains. I hear Colorado's beautiful. Okay. You wanted to talk about crystals or the sleep paralysis?
Yeah, whichever one works for people. We can talk about crystals in general, how to cleanse them and program them so they know their job and why that's important. Or we can talk about sleep paralysis and why it's actually not necessarily a bad thing, how you can use it as a really good tool.
Well, that sounds really interesting. Do you mind talking about that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So, first of all, I would work out what's happening during the sleep paralysis. Excuse me. So, sleep paralysis is actually a very, very positive and important biological function. And sleep paralysis comes because it stops us acting out whatever we're dreaming about, which is sometimes where sleepwalking can come from. So there's that. So if it's maybe biological, it's important to see, but if it has other things attached to it, I'd love to know how to cleanse and charge them. Okay. Well, there's a huge amount on that, but you can do it very quickly as well. But yeah, so quickly in the sleep paralysis, there is, once you've worked out if there's something else attached to it, if you sense anything. Sorry, Breezy, can you come back in a minute while I take a drink? No? Okay. Stop trying to block me from my Pepsi. Stop it.
I'm over here looking like a potato with like spiky hair. I don't know what I just. Oh my gosh. Sorry if I'm getting. I probably just gave everybody sleep paralysis. Oh my gosh.
I didn't see anything I want to see.
Oh my gosh. Hold on one second.
Was that your boss doing that?
No, that was me. She wouldn't make that mistake. I made a rookie mistake.
Maybe you should put your boss back in charge.
I think so. Hold on one second. I'm trying to do something. I don't mean to keep. I don't know what to do. Hold on.
Okay.
I feel really bad.
So, So
okay.
Once you experience sleep paralysis and you know that something else is happening beyond just not being able to move, And if there's nothing else happening, it's a good time to speak to your doctor. That can just be disrupted sleep. However, once you get past that, the first thing to do is overcome the fear of it, because it can be so scary. I've had it. Mine was very spiritual in nature, very spirit-based in nature. But if it's not just to do with spirit, then you overcome the fear of it, and you can do that through breathing through the process. So if you have sleep paralysis where you are fully conscious and something is happening, that's when it becomes a tool. In those moments, you can engage in your breathing, you can connect to the earth again, you can surround yourself with light if you feel intimidated in any way. You can recite a prayer or a mantra of I'm okay, I'm okay. And then before that, you can do other things as you're getting ready for sleep, especially if you experience it quite a lot, which is you can make the bedroom a really positive place to be, with a nice lighting, and just make it a good, like, higher energy place. Crystals, like aromatherapy. There's some really good books on aromatherapy I can tell you about. Not aromatherapy, like just using scent in general. It's called a fragrant pharmacy. Actually, I use that on my dogs, believe it or not, when I had them. And then you can also, to create that extra energy, if you do a lot of work in sleep, just put that quick shield around yourself, that quick bubble, that's that light. And then once you start being okay and understanding that this is like, it's like the waiting room for you to do your job with it. It's like someone giving you a hammer and saying, it's okay, don't be scared of it, but learn how to use it to put that nail in the wood. And so, again, that's very much like, what is it surrounding? So it can be lucid dreaming, the first stage of lucid dreaming. And so you become conscious, but you're sleeping, and so that gives you that control. And lucid dreaming is a whole another section that is too big to be done now. But what you can do very quickly is take yourself to a really nice place, a beach, if that gives you safety, a forest, somewhere that feels good, and then start engaging in lucid dreaming, using that as a tool to go, okay, this is where I can start doing some work. And you can use lucid dreaming for lots of different things. There can be the first stage of astral projection, which is entirely different from lucid dreaming. A lot of people are scared of that because they're worried that energy will enter their body while they're traveling. What I'd say is make sure you have a cord to your body and protect your body, and you'll be fine. But always know your way home, and don't go too far at once. But again, that sleep paralysis is a tool for you to go, oh, okay, this is where my journey's starting. This is where I want to go. And the other way is spirit, obviously, which is a way I think a lot of people experience it. And so sometimes if we encounter something negative, we see a negative imagery, as Michelle was saying. Or it can be shadows, just things like that. And so that's when you do your protection and understand where that's coming from. It's important to ask, what is it you're feeling? Not just what you're seeing, but what are you feeling? Are there any words or images? And what does that mean to you? Often it can be a state where you're remembering spirit, and that allows you to talk to people. It can be loved ones, it can be positive spirits, and it's just someone trying to get you a message. And again, that's very much about imagery, because that's learning what spirit is using to tell you things. So if they use the image of a fire, what does fire mean to you? Does it have a place in your life? Does it remind you of someone or something, you know? For me, sitting in front of a fire reminds me of nights with my nana, sat in this beautiful silence and just sharing this kind of magic safety. You know, so it's about trusting your own language and working with that. And if you find someone who says they're a teacher, be careful, because what we tend to find are guides. And if someone's helping guiding you through lucid dreaming or with spirit, it's more about them guiding you in your own knowledge to take you to that place. So that's very quick on sleep paralysis. There you go.
I'm here.
Good. So, sorry, go on. Do you want to answer Michelle? Or?
Yes. Michelle, no, you didn't say anything wrong. It was just really, really distracting. And I wasn't going to put Breezy Jr. on, you know, when Amanda's talking. So that was it. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry. It just was distracting. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And someone said, like lucid dreaming. I'm not sure.
Heck no, GMOs.
Oh, like how you can use, like, are you asking what lucid dreaming is, or?
Let me scroll up.
And then G has a really good question as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you think spirits, when I hear someone call my name behind my music video, I'm watching in my headphones? I take them out and ask if my mom called me, and it's most of the time no. Wow.
Yeah, so it's this. Do you remember I explained the candle flame meditation?
Yes.
And so part of why that's really good, and it's the same kind of theory that's used in hypnosis, which is distract the front brain, distract the guardian, the gatekeeper, the thing that, you know, just keeps us in this world. And so sometimes if you are listening to music or watching a video, it's almost like hypnotic. It's taking up your attention or allowing you to just be without too much thinking. And that's when you hear things the most sometimes. You know, it's like there's not as much kind of interference from by the guard, and it lets the brain that understands spirit a bit better hear what's being said. So it can be that, very much so. And often it's when we're not expecting it. So, I mean, I said on, G left a comment on the last live stream, which was talking about sleep paralysis and things, which I won't go into in case she doesn't want to share it. But,
Okay.
one of the things that we were talking about is like counting, you know, animals, spirits of animals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I said when I lived in the house previous to this one, I would count 2 dogs in and think both my dogs were in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just one of them. Poppy would always still be out in the garden because it was always Poppy.
Oh.
And that was just because that would always be at a time where, you know, like I wasn't really paying that much attention. I was just doing something really normal and thinking about something. I'd just see 2 dogs in. And that would always happen the most when I was just, my brain was busy. You know, it let me pick up messages and other things.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, well, that's how hypnosis works. That's why they distract you with this kind of visualization. So then
Mm-hmm.
allow access to your kind of subconscious.
I don't know how to explain this. I've tried hypnosis before where they like to bring back old memories, but it like never worked on me. I don't know why.
So there's actually a really easy test that you can do to see if you are someone that hypnosis can be used. But I mean, I have quite a personal story about hypnosis, if people don't mind hearing it.
Oh, not at all. And I didn't mean it in a negative way at all.
Oh, no,
I was
no.
just wondering if there's something like wrong like I was blocking myself from just being vulnerable, or what, like why I couldn't think of like past memories. It was
Yeah, well, that's kind of why I'm using this experience, because it you can see a bit more.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, when I so someone cannot hypnotize you and make you do things you don't want to do. That is I guess that's a common misconception. And so a lot of people can never relax enough because they're always like, hang on, you know, I don't be like running around like a chicken or whatever it is. Now, I lost my voice for a year, which was loosely related to a suppressed memory, and it actually involved kind of spiritualism in a weird way. And I'd gone for surgery as a child, and this memory flashed up. I have no memory of it, obviously. And when I woke up, I'd lost my voice, and there was no physical reason for it. I ended up going to hypnosis, and an image, a memory came up, and I didn't even know it was real. But I remember telling my dad about it, and he was like, "Oh, that's my mum. How would you know her?" And so, it was something that happened when I was younger. And after that, because it was quite a traumatic experience, I was never be able to hypnotize again, especially by that person, because she reacted quite badly to it. Threatened to have me exorcised by a priest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't because she thought I was evil in any way. It was just spirits in general was not something that vibed with her religion. So I was like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm good. I'm just gonna go and work my horses, and I'll be right as rain. And I was, but yeah. So because that kind of fear came up, and that lack of trust in that person, I was never able to hypnotize again, except for by myself. Actually, I can hypnotize myself.
Wow.
And so if there are ways for you to become more susceptible to it if you think it's a good tool for you, and it's for someone you trust, or it's for therapy. But generally, it is just about understanding that even if you kind of give up control, as it were, ultimately, you will always have the final say, Right. You can't, people say, yeah, well, how do people go up on stage and end up doing daft things? Well, they volunteer to go up on stage because they know that a hypnotist will make them do daft things, And often that's not fully real. That's more kind of crowd induced states, because there's the expectation, whereas hypnosis and things like that tends to work at a deeper level. It's slow, and you need to get there in a process.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I didn't know the person that was doing it, or felt like I didn't have a trust with them. It's not like I looked for them. It was something kind of it's hard to explain, but yeah. I was a lot younger, and I tried it. It didn't work, but it's probably because I didn't trust the person. It's not like I sought them out for it or something.
Yeah, and you're setting as well. But there is a test, which is if you were working with somebody, and it just involves you rubbing your hand on a pillow and listening to them talk. And then that kind of builds up that trust that that voice can guide you to that thing. You see a physical reaction from it. And then it's backed up by that person taking you back to who, fully in control again. And so it is a process of building that trust, both in the process and the person.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Not sure where we started, but there we go.
I know.
Yeah, the awareness, the guard being distracted does allow messages. There you go. I pulled it back.
Let's see. Well, I guess you guys can. How should we do this? When can you come on next, for one thing, and for two, do you have like a Cash App or PayPal or anything you like that you want to put in the chat, so in case people want to donate to you for doing this? I mean, it's really nice that you come on here.
I would prefer them donate to you actually right now. There may be a time where that's necessary, but right now my gift is just sharing. We're all here to share our knowledge. But I also know that you're hosting this. You're bringing us together, Breezy, and this is a place where you can find what you need too.
Well, I'm so drawn to you for one thing. Like, you're such a good person, and I'm so drawn to you because everything you talk about is just stuff I've always wondered about my whole life. And, I think we talked about this before, or I don't know, I've talked about this at some point on a live where I was always told, like, wanting to know about crystals is bad, wanting to learn, it's hard to explain. But I was always brought up like this kind of stuff was new agey and bad, if that makes sense.
It's more ancient than if you think about crystals, they form in the earth. Which do you think was here first, the earth or whatever religion or being or said that crystals are bad?
Wait, say that again.
So crystals are from the earth. They formed with the earth. Earth was here much longer before man.
Right.
And much longer before any form of religion or anything. And so crystal's the most natural thing. Yeah. Energy is the most natural thing. What connects us it's all natural, and there's no harm in looking at it. No harm.
I think people are just scared of exploring these things, so they just deem it as bad. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Heck no, GMO. Oh my gosh. Thanks for bringing us together. I needed this positivity today. You are so welcome, and thank you so much. Yeah, what I was telling you, Amanda, is everything I've just wondered about my whole life is just like in your head. So I'm so drawn to you because I just want to pick at your brain and learn everything.
You are more than welcome. But like I said, sometimes it's just about finding the right people at the right stage of life when you're ready to hear the things,
Yeah. And that's why I'm being so open talking about this stuff with my daughter, because I never want her to have, you know what I mean, to have be told something's bad or be afraid of something because you don't know what it is. I just want her to learn.
Absolutely. It's a really good thing, and it's about learning to trust your own power in these things.
Yeah.
Nothing is bad, but you also have the power to use it or not use it as you want, But also, that's a really good idea that when I have my shop set up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would definitely put her link everywhere. Everywhere you could think of.
And also, I see that you're nearly at 2,000. So.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it.
More likes and subscriptions. Perfect.
It's insane. And it makes me so happy to hear that and be reminded that like it's almost 2,000, because I felt like since I posted my last 2 videos, I've been getting kind of a lot of hate and people saying, well, if you feel this way, I'm unsubscribing. So I felt a little sad about it. So thank you. I think I need to look at the bigger picture. There's almost 2,000 people that care and like me as a person, and you know what I mean? So I shouldn't focus on the negative because there's so much more positive.
Well, you look at the people in the stream that have said thank you for creating this positive environment, or this is calming.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a few as I was, waffling on with myself.
Yeah.
And that's like is drawn to like.
Mm-hmm.
You act from kindness, and there's nothing wrong with what you said. Like you said, you're not saying something is right. You're just saying don't take away the option of healing.
Yeah, I definitely am not saying enable, support, subscribe, do any of that. It's just, I felt it when I kept seeing people saying like, she'll never recover. She's hopeless. I'm like, oh, people said that about me,
Yeah.
So we can support her from afar. We can give her well wishes. We can give her our positive thoughts and hope she gets better, and just keep it at a distance. That doesn't mean we have to put money in her pockets,
Absolutely. And also it's a bit like, as we were saying about protection, and it's about you have fully your own right. So when it comes to things like crystals very quickly and stuff like that, The reason why it's important to cleanse them is because if you're taking something into your energy field, that can it needs cleansing, because like you wouldn't take something dirty off the street and pop it in your mouth, would you?
No.
Maybe give it a wipe off first or whatever it is. And so it's kind of the same with crystals. It's got energy with it, and so especially if it's been touched, not straight from the earth, but if it's been touched by other people. And so you just give it a bit of a cleanse, and good to go. You take it back to its nature, its natural state, how it came out of the earth.
Right.
And so it is very much about, like, you get to decide if a person is causing you damage in your energy, and you have a right to say, actually, I don't want to watch them for a bit, or whatever. And I have not once heard you say she is fine to do this, that, and the other.
No.
You're just saying, don't take away her possibility of changing and healing, because any human is capable of that.
That's what I think too. So thank you for that, Amanda.
Okay.
She said, exactly, Breezy. I don't put negative hopes out for either Chantel or Amber. I don't want it back myself. I just hope that it isn't a waste when I think positively for them. So far, it's been
a waste. Well, it's not, because we have unforeseen effects on this world. And as I said, when it comes to energy work, it's about attitude, gratitude, karma, and grace. And what we put out is what will come back to us. There's a saying in, I want to say voodoo, I'm not sure, where, like, for every finger that points away from you, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. So, if you send good out, then you are changing, you're not creating your own negativity and negative karma.
Right.
So even if you see no foreseeable change, you don't know what on a bigger picture what's happening. So good energy is never a waste, ever. And also, good energy is endless as long as you refill yourself.
And also, I want to point out one more thing. I know I get comments that say, like, why am I not more angry? Why am I not, why am I too nice towards Chantel? Well, for one thing, getting upset isn't going to do anything to Chantel. It's going to affect me. So I don't want to get upset ranting and raving and yelling, because it does nothing to her. Like, she's still going to live her life at the end of the day. That's me sitting with all that anger. So I just, I say what I see. I hope that she changes, and
absolutely. And then that anger lives in you, and then you pass it on to other people, like they feel that negativity. And it's like I said earlier, when I said about moving whatever lives in, say, like an injury site, or if I'm sort of around someone that's kind of got like heavier energy, it's like, I don't want that living in my body. I'm going to move it through. So don't get angry. It's only costing you.
Right.
Definitely.
Heck no, GMO said that's so true. Well, I would love to have a date for another Saturday if you want to come on.
Yeah.
I love these streams. We don't always have to, talk about negative things and what's going on with the girls. It's nice to have a day where we can learn and ask questions. So when's the next time you're free?
So I think next weekend I will be possibly busy.
Okay.
But the weekend after, I should be free. I mean, I'll be in a different environment. I'll be down at my dad's, which will be interesting.
Hold on. Let me look at my calendar just real fast, because Breezy Jr. has a birthday coming up, and I want to make sure.
Okay. Yes. Most important thing first.
Yes. Where's the calendar, baby?
Right there.
Oh, thank you.
Do you like balloons?
Do you like balloons?
Yes.
Oh, I love balloons. We used to play games where you had to pass balloons around with your knees to your mum or your friends, and if you dropped the balloon, you had to go out. That was what we did.
Oh my gosh. Want to play that? Okay. I could do. Is it the 25th? You're saying you can?
Yes.
I can.
Perfect.
Woohoo!
I'll put you in, and obviously, if anything changes, just being down at my dad's, I'll let you know. But it should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know too, just in case.
Yeah.
I don't think we're doing, okay. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
Okay.
I'm putting Amanda Saturday stream. Simple enough for me, and I will know what that means.
And would people like me to know more about, like, not know more, but like talk more about the crystals, the kind of cleansing and jobs and things?
Oh yeah. Do you guys have specific things? Like, do you want them to, if they have questions now? So like maybe you could, I don't know.
Yeah, like I either leave the questions under this live stream or, you know, wherever it's best for you, Breezy, and you can kind of let us know.
Yeah, G said, should we have people leave questions for you for next stream here? Yeah, when the stream ends, definitely, leave it down below. That should be easiest, I think, for both of us, right?
Definitely, but at me, because I'm terrible for checking things normally.
Okay. Okay. And I'll keep a lookout too. If I see things, like I'll screenshot and send it to you. Does Amanda have a YouTube channel?
I don't, but interestingly enough, I am thinking of starting 3.
Do it. Wait, 3 at once?
Well, not necessarily at once, but
okay.
in a cycle. It's one is just for the basic wood and crystal work, you know, the making, and then, you know, just chatting about things as that goes. And then also just another area of interest that I'm into, you know, kind of like learning and sharing knowledge, but mostly I'm focusing on like the woodwork and crystal work to begin with.
Well, I think you should do it.
Then I may need to pick your brains.
Can you recharge crystals under any full moon? I guess do you want?
Yes, you can. You definitely can. There are normally, if you do that, then it's for a specific purpose. You can create kind of moon energy and moon water. But there are just like general methods to cleanse any crystal and things like that.
Perfect. Hi, Michelle. I'm sorry you just came. We're actually ending right now. I'm sorry. How did you find Amanda, Breezy? How did we find each other? I feel like we just found each other.
Yeah, we did. I think I started being like, hey, you're doing a good job. Or making like jokes, and you're like, oh, that's funny. I was like, I know. And then I think I started bugging you about Pepsi. Really, I think that's where it came from.
I think so. Oh my gosh. But I'm so glad I met you. Like, you're just such an awesome friend to have, person to know. And it's fun doing this with you. So thank you so much for, like, you know, giving up your time to come on here.
More than welcome. And if you are glad you met me, I was drawn to your energy. So that's what you're putting out into the world, you know?
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
You see a lot of, you see lots of folk out there that, you know, it gets them or it's angry or whatever. Whereas there was always you chuckling or saying something kind or just also reacting honestly, going, oh, maybe not, you know? But there was never like outward negativity at the event. And so, yeah, I was attracted to that kind of nature in you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, G said me. Can't bother to research a paper. Also me, I'm going to read these 300 articles on crystal work tonight.
I mean, if you tell me what the research paper is, I'm quite into research.
Energy talk would be awesome, G said.
Yeah, that'd be great. In terms of healing or how like attracts like, how you can use energy for different things or spirit, it's different ways.
Michelle, I don't know your email, but I could give you mine. I'll put it here. It's just breeze in today. Sorry, is my elbow going into you? Hold on.
Does she have a bony elbow? Does she have a bony elbow?
Yes.
Oh. We'll have to put some special padding on there so it's softer.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
my
thank you,
gosh.
Heck No GMOs. You are welcome, and thank you for being here and being receptive. That's really kind of you to say.
Well, you guys, I guess we will end it here, and we will be back the 25th at the same time. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so the 25th, same time, 4 o'clock. And then leave all your questions as soon as this stream ends underneath the video. And again, thank you so much, Amanda, for coming on here. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. And like I said, any goodwill is generated by you, and likes, subscriptions, cash apps, whatever. Send it Breeze's way.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll talk to you
Somebody
guys.
asked you a question down.
Is it supposed to be Gmail? No, that one is just mail.com.
Okay. Wow, I mean, you got there even before Google existed. That's older than mine.
Well,
I'm joking.
I needed to find like a free email thing to use just for like YouTube. So I was like, okay, that one's easy. Love you. Oh, I thought you were okay. All right, you guys have a good evening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, lovely. Bye.
Bye.